Yay! What's poppin', everybody? We are live on the Kumu app. And I have the most beautiful... I have your intro, girl, so let me get to it, okay? So welcome to the Evolve with Nicolette Podcast. Shout out to everybody who's here. I know it's, 1 a.m. in the Philippines? 2:30
a.m.
Good morning, Grand Rising. Shout out to everybody who stayed and people who I met in my live last night. Tita is here. Yes. So I have a special guest, and this is round 2 for us, but round 1 in person, because I'm so excited for her to be here. And not only us, but like popping cherries for being international together. I'm here for it. So I have a very special guest with me today. A superstar in her own right. Okay, I swear to God, I'm gonna be the one. Like, she was on my podcast twice before anybody else. Miss Slay all day. Okay, the unboxing queen, the K-pop K-drama connoisseur. Yes. More than just a pretty face, and the lady who embodies Pinay empowerment all day long. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Vanessa Camille is in the building.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, first off, that intro, that was so thoughtful. Like, that was like, I didn't want to smile too big because I know it was just like my cheekbones are going to start hurting from the get. But I am just so honored to be here with you, finally in person. You guys don't know, but Nicolette is a force to, like, you guys gotta watch out for her. She's gonna do big things. She makes everyone feel so comfortable. Like, I always feel comfortable. That's why when you said, like, the other day, you're like, hey, can you do this with me? I was like, yes, 100%. I didn't even need, you were saying details and all of these things. I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to support you because I believe in you, and I love just like having you and your vibe in my presence. It's just like
appreciative. This was so
uplifted. Yeah.
Listen, I was such a creep. I think you said it on a live or something or somewhere that you were coming to LA, and I was like, where are you at? Like, when are you gonna come? I want to be with you. I need to meet and feel and hug in person. Let's do it. But one of the main reasons why you were here, girl, is because of the BTS concert.
Okay, army. Okay, who's part of the BTS army? Yes, put those BTS bombs up. I was here at the concert. I was on like level 100, and you know they had like them close up. So I was like, my heart stopped. I didn't breathe when they were like coming. I was like, V is my bias, and so when he came my way, I was like, he's so beautiful. I just stopped. I was like, he's my style icon. Like everything like he does, I was just like, but I loved all of it. Like,
and listen, between you and Tessa, first of all, and the videos, the content was so good for me and gave me major flashbacks, which now I'm gonna you guys totally redefined me embracing Tita vibes. All the auntie vibes, because it flashed me back to like NSYNC days for me. So I was like, I get it, young ones. I totally get it. But we were talking about all the Lolas and aunties that were there last night.
Yes, my mom is a huge fan of BTS. My friend is part of the army, and I was also a fan of NSYNC, and I feel like they're like the Beatles of this generation right now, because it's like if you have 4 shows and you're selling out, like that's great. And what they're doing also is kind of like changing Western beauty standards a little bit more, and it's like wonderful to see, because it's like right now it's like so dope to be Asian, so dope to be POCs. So I'm just like, I love it. Let's talk about it.
And that's the thing, right? Is that I was noticing, listen, the nail polish, the hair, bringing
like makeup, the flawless
everything.
Skin.
Yes, I mean, if you're Asian, this is kind of like, I feel like it's normal to us, right? Yeah. But for everybody else, what I love is the African American content with the Asian guys. They love them. Like that whole thing. I love that whole like interaction, the way how they're just like fangirling over them. Yeah. But let's talk about it. I love to see it. Now, you are the BTS connoisseur. So let's talk about like how they're redefining like fashion norms.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like I was like really into K-pop like 10 years ago, like when Big Bang, you know, like all of those CL, all of them were coming out, and so that in the past was such a niche like fan base, and I think we knew that like how good they were, the music, the dancing, the production of their music videos, and the style and the makeup. People weren't used to men wearing makeup. And now it's like, oh, like even like little bit of like gloss or something, it's just like, that's fine.
Right.
And it's like also in a way that, you know, it's good and bad because it like gets fetishizes or whatever, but it's also great because it's like it's pushing the norm to another level, because before it's like, you know, you grow up, you only see like the white male lead and you're just like, that's my like who I want in my life. And now it's like you have these Asian men taking over the world, and such a diverse fan base. Like you got Filipinos loving them, you got, you know, like all the POCs, even like, you know, Pute, like everyone's loving them. So it doesn't even matter. It's like just like that beauty standards that they're holding is actually just pushing even more. Like they're like redefining what it means to like be beautiful and also be attracted as like lead man, you know, essentially, especially if you guys watch K-dramas. Like I'm on that K-drama. Like
I need to get on that.
Like you just binge it. You just put it on and you'll get hugs. You'll thank me later.
I love that. When you were talking about that, it brought up for me Bad Bunny. Right, who's pushing
He's number one.
Right, like
he's number one right now.
Pushing the envelope on what it means to be masculine and feminine and what that means, and not necessarily do you have to be, you know, gay or it's hot regardless, baby, and just jump on the wave because this is it, and I love that it's happening for the generation that's coming up.
Yeah.
Because the expression, right? And let's talk a little bit because, girl, you are fashion.
I love fashion.
You are fashion. So, little background. First of all, shout out to everyone who's following and who's watching. Make sure that you're following me, Evolve Nicolette, baby, because we went live last night cooking tilapia and lumpia.
Oh, no way. Okay, tilapia, like I know people are like, it's a bottom feeder fish, but I love tilapia. It's like meaty, get it fried with some rice and some like cut up tomatoes and onions and eat with your hands. Like I'm into it.
Do they have Ranch 99 in Seattle?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. So Ranch 99, you buy refry, baby, and that's a whole meal.
Yeah, that is. Get some rice in the rice cooker.
And that's it.
Yeah, you're good.
That is it. So make sure that you're following me. Vanessa, you're going to get on the Kumu app soon.
Yes, I will get on the Kumu app.
We're going to get it poppin'.
Yeah, my username is Vanessa X Camille on like every social media. So that once I get on the Kumu app, it will be that as well. So follow me
TikTok, there. TikTok, Instagram, all the things for Vanessa, please. So little bit of background is that we met. I reached out to you. I fell into the hashtag rabbit hole of Pinay, just hashtag Pinay was probably it. Then I found you in the most beautiful photo shoot. And I think I told you like back then that it was kind of like brought tears to my eyes because being a Pinay myself, I've always been plus size. There was never a point where I was small. I was always the chubby one. But I never was able to identify with anybody, like ever. Never ever been able to like see myself in somebody else. But when I found you and find your picture, I was like, she exists. It felt like a unicorn moment for me. And it was beautiful because I understand how me being a little girl, what that felt like and feeling so alone. Not only that, do I have other issues because I'm mixed, right? So being Mexican and Filipina and that whole thing. But seeing you was like, I was seeing like a sister. I was seeing like my ate. I was seeing like a cousin, you know? And so I asked you to get on, what was it? This was like pandemic time.
Yeah, it was. You're like, let's get on Zoom. Can we do this podcast? I didn't know I was going to get recorded. Good thing your girl brought some makeup on and like a fit, but I was.
Yes, that was my first Zoom. The audio is straight trash. The video's good though. But it was such a beautiful like moment for me. I felt so and still so connected to you. And a lot has changed for you.
A lot has changed.
Since, that was I think November 23rd, 2020 when we first did that. So let's catch up, because I feel like you have had we were talking about this, about the glow up, and you were kind of like downplaying it, and I'm like, no, baby, we're not doing that. Okay, because there's going to be a point where people are going to tell you like, oh, you're overnight success. You've been working on this for a hot minute.
Yeah.
Hot minute. So tell people like your background.
Yeah. So a little bit about me. I am a signed model. I'm a plus size signed Filipino model, Filipino American model.
Yes.
I actually also am a content creator, mostly on IG and TikTok. And I work in digital marketing. My 9 to 5, my stability job is not like digital marketing. I do content and SEO. And then I have a food blog, and I'm also a hair and makeup artist. So, I'm always on the grind. And I think it's also like my grandpa, like he was like, you're not going to go hungry if you want to work. And I'm like always wanting to work. And it's not like I feel like I'm overwhelmed or burdened by the work I do. It's more of like, I actually love every facet of my life.
Yeah,
that's why I commit to that, like all of those. Like my food blog, it's the Seattle food scene, like it's popping. Like I honestly,
it's successful.
I love taking food photos. The camera eats first, right? But it's that one specifically for Seattle, because I am based out of Seattle. I got signed last year, and that's when Nicolette first reached out to me. I was signed by my agency SMG, and I was one of their first Filipino plus size. I think I might be their only Filipino plus size model, but I could double check. But it was just like, I at first was kind of scared. I was like, I don't ever see models like me. And so I told them, I said no like 5 times.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I said no. And then Ross, the one who recruited me in from SMG, he was like, I showed your photo to this entire like team, and they said yes on you. So you're in if you say yes. You don't have to apply. You're in. And I'm like, I said no, but you know what? I thought I reflected. I stopped and reflected. I was like, the reason why I don't see people like me is because like I need to actually be that person so other people can also be models or feel like they are like, worthy of feeling beautiful and being models themselves. We just need more representation. Yeah. Because there's a lot of creatives who are Filipino American that I've worked with on photo shoots. Like Costco has a Filipino creative director, like all of these like local Seattle brands too, like corporate brands like Costco, Starbucks, REI, they all have like someone who's Filipino, like in the like
in the mix.
Yeah. And so when they see a Filipino model, they're like, yes, like we need her, So
that.
it's like it's really fascinating to see it. I'm just really like honored to be able to do that.
Yes. Listen, because that is what this whole episode is about. It's about Pinay empowerment and how we redefine that, right? Yeah. Shout out to everybody sending me gifts and stuff. I love that. I love seeing all the movement on the screen. Shout out to y'all. Thank you. Because when I was looking up, like, what does Pinay empowerment mean? What does empowerment mean for Filipino women? And it came up, right? Gabriela Silang, right? And that whole movement, the revolution, and how powerful and impactful they were then. And even though, right, we're still fighting colonialism and colonial mindset and all those things, but I feel like our generation is touching on the things that are so taboo, right? Like body shaming. Yes. Body shaming and how we normalize that in Filipino culture, right? And what the image of what a perfect Filipino woman's supposed to look like, right? I feel like we always celebrate Miss Philippines and stuff like that. Shout out to them, beautiful and always. but that's not what we all look like.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then redefining what beautiful means for like skin type, body size, right? Hair, right? Even as I was almost about to come in with my natural curly hair.
You should have.
I should have. It's definitely something that I'm trying to unlearn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
because
a lot of unlearning.
I spent so many years in a chair with my titas, like blow drying my hair out and stuff. And shout out to them. It's okay. But even that, right? Filipinas, thick, straight hair. That's it.
Yeah.
Don't like a single wave. You better put it up in a bun or something. Put it back in a ponytail, something, right?
Yeah.
Trying to hide those parts that are us. And seeing you and the most, as you can tell, I love her so much. But the thing is that I'm seeing what the pictures, like the embodiment and how powerful your photo shoots are. And because I could tell that you're so mindful.
Yeah.
About it, right? Shout out to Jenny, your photographer.
Jenny Rosa, follow her.
Yes.
She honestly, she pushes Filipino American like talent. She's just all about it, and she like, wants to always like do it for the community. And I'm always like, yes, for the culture, for the community.
Yes,
we're doing this, and it's always for her, it's like she was a nurse and then she became a full-time photographer. Yeah. And I give it to her. She's one of the most intelligent and most like loving people like you could ever meet. And like working with her as a photographer, it's like she has become one of my like closest friends, closest and dearest friends.
Yes. Listen, and we were talking about how our generation are really trying to get back to our roots.
Yes. We're trying to reclaim our roots. Right? Because, like, what was it? Many decades of us being like, I don't, I need to assimilate. I need to Americanize. Right. I don't want to bring my baon to school because it's going to smell. Yes. And it's like, now I was telling Nicolette, like my brother, he works in the food industry. He works for Musang, a Filipino restaurant in Seattle, and he like was saying that again 8 years younger, he's like, it is actually us wanting to like, because we've been droughted from like being to know our culture. We want to like have that food. We want to bring our baon. It's cool. It's like really cool to like be able to say like, I'm Filipino, like instead of saying like, oh, I'm American, I'm just trying to fit in. It's more of like, I have this identity and this is who I am, which is really like, it's a great like shift in our direction.
So good and like, so delicious.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. It's something for me that even my sons, right, being super mixed, even more mixed, my sons, right, but wanting to take to school their baon of like, rice and chicken adobo. To a very, very white school, okay? Where the opposite of me probably 30 years ago was like, no, Lola, I do not want that.
I want my sandwich. I just need it.
I want a Lunchable.
I want a Lunchable, with my Capri Sun.
I want a Bagel Bites.
Yeah, it was just a whole nother, like, culture thought back then.
So much unlearning that we have to do like now, which is beautiful for us to have these types of conversations, to be like, yo, you guys are seen, like it's poppin' to be Pinay, Pinoy, whatever that means and how you define yourself. It is such a beautiful time to be alive. Shout out to everybody who's there. I see a lot of movement on the screen.
I know, I'm trying to read like the questions. I have like not great eyesight, so
I love y'all. I love it, love it, love it. Shout out to y'all, and please don't forget to follow me, Evolve Nicolette. We love it. Listen, I feel like I was mentioning how empowering your photos are and how mindful you are. How do you feel when you wear, traditional Filipino clothing in your photo shoots like now? Because that one that I found you, it was like this lace, like head wrap, like it was just the most beautiful, and the movement in your body, like, oh, it was so delicious. And
my
then
ancestors were coming straight from me.
Yes, the ancestors were coming through. So like, what does that feel like, being able to do that creatively?
I love when I get to like work on a photo shoot and I know it is like Filipino inspired, Filipino like crew, everything Filipino, because it just makes you feel so proud to be Filipino. It's like, again, I was like reclaiming our roots at that point. I was actually born in the Philippines. I was born in Cavite, and then I actually immigrated to the U.S. So for me, it was always like a struggle to like assimilate and do all that. And so now it's like really great to be able to like be reconnected and like find a community. Like I've been like hungry to find a community of like other Filipino American, other Filipinos, and I tell everyone, I'm like, if they're a Filipino business, I want to support them. Like I'm like, there's a shop with a boutique, it's Filipino owned, let's buy those paintings. Like in my house, I was like everything. And so like when I do photo shoots, I want to make sure like if it's for like, the culture, it is like authentic, it is pure, it's like let's get like Filipino owned
so much
like businesses. There's lots of intention behind it, and it's like it makes my heart so full because it's like they all have different journeys. Like, we all have different like immigrant journeys, or just like journeys to how we got to where we are, how we became Filipino American. And it's like you could see like everyone has that resilience, and I think that is from like our history of resilience. I mean, it's good and bad, right? Like we've been like we've been like working so hard to make sure that we're still going to be able next day like live the like our truest selves, and so I think photo shoots, like it's nice to like have that representation and like be able to like be like, okay, we're pushing that narrative of like it is great to like love your culture. So great, so important, and how much you honor our culture,
your culture and your ancestors by living like that. And also too, like the empowerment that I see, I wanted to ask a little bit about, because I didn't get a chance to ask you the last time. So when you started in like social media and stuff like that, were your parents like mine? Like I feel like this is something that is common across the board with like Filipino parents. Were you told to like become a nurse and do something that was super, traditional? This is safe. This is what's going to always provide for you. I mean, even more so now that we're in the pandemic. So if you're a nurse and you're out here saving lives, we appreciate you.
The heroes, the real heroes, really and truly.
Yes. So like, but I see a lot more now, right? Even within the studio that we're in. One Dwn, and this being Filipino owned, made, bred, like what does that, how is that, because I feel like that's part of our empowerment, is being able to redefine like and going these non-traditional routes, right? Being a Pinay model, being a Pinay makeup artist, and being a Pinay in social media. Like, was there conversations of like, hey, we need to get real, let's go back and do something more traditional? But I know that your parents are supportive.
They're super there's way, like my mom is like my biggest fan, I want to say.
I love that.
Like she'll brag to all my aunties about me, but to my face she'll give me tough love all the time. Like shout out to my mom if she's watching. But much love to her. So yes, like after college it was definitely like, you need to become a nurse, or you need to enlist in the Navy, because it's what they know.
It's like, what's safe.
It's what's safe. It's what they know will like give me stability in my life to be able, because they didn't just move here for like, for themselves. They moved here because they want to give their children a better life. Give opportunity. And actually like, shout out to my dad, he was in the Navy, and I mean, my mom wasn't a nurse or anything, but she worked in like childcare and whatnot. But I was able to have those opportunities because they had that stability. Like my dad being in the Navy, I got to grow up in Japan. I got to travel the world. I had ability to actually like, do extracurricular activities and like excel in my own studies, because they put all those resources behind me. Like, we are counting on you to like be successful. So like we did our job. And so in college, I did go to UW, and UW is University of Washington, and I intended to be a nurse.
Okay.
And then I realized I was not good at science. I wasn't good at math. Everyone's like, you're great at math. That stereotype. I'm like, I actually, like, I can't math. My mom and like my whole family makes fun of me. Like, you can't math. Like I could do everything else. I'm a very social person.
Right.
I am very like creative.
Yes.
I like love aesthetics. I love like fashion and everything.
It's okay to excel in other things.
Yeah, it's okay to excel.
Yeah.
And so I told my mom, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this like 100 level biology, chemistry class, those classes. And so I had to pivot. I pivoted like 9 times because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was discovering myself, and I ended up doing like sociology and business because it's like you go into college like not like that's a whole nother topic, right? You go into college like thinking like, okay, you're going to be a nurse because that is what like is successful in our community.
Yeah,
especially in the 90s, especially in the 2000s.
Right.
That is what is success.
So normal, normalized.
Yeah.
But there's a thing where we don't really think about being happy, right? Like what makes us happy. It's like we do right by our parents, and that's what creates happiness. But then it's like it's not all like that sometimes, right? And for some it's like that, but I love how this generation is really tapping into like what makes you happy, and it's like being creative and tapping into that side, right? Like I think the CEO of Canva is Filipina.
Is she?
Yes, like
that's a multi-billion-dollar business now.
Okay,
I use Canva.
I use Canva for everything.
Canva?
Everybody does.
Canva, if you're not using it, shout out to Canva.
Pinay runs that shit, and I love that. Like,
I didn't know that.
you know what I mean? And that we can be successful in different avenues, right?
Yeah,
and we could be successful being models.
Yeah.
We could be successful having a studio, having a whole like marketing team. Like we love it, and I'm here for it. And I just love that as we step into our excellence, our Filipino excellence, this is what that means, right? Where it's not just so one-sided anymore. It's not so by the book. I feel like the more that we see like a bunch of Filipinos and we celebrate like the things that they're doing, right? Because also too, I don't want to downplay those who did choose the medical field, who did choose like finance or stuff like that. But like we're all contributing to what Filipino excellence means. And I'm here for it, and love that, like, even to be a small part of that, right? Because I could be, that's why I scream it from the rafters, girl, of being Pinay and Mexican at the same time, because I'm so proud of where I come from, right? I'm so proud of my ancestor. I'm so proud of my family and the life that they left for us to thrive here.
Girl, Filipino and Mexican ancestors are
Cousins.
the same. Like,
Cousins.
Like,
yes.
really, truly and truly. Like, I have a lot of Mexican friends, and I'm just like, we're, like, related.
So related. Like, we got colonized by the same people, girl.
Exactly. We got colonized by the same people, like, around similar time frames.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's the same.
Yes. So it's something that, like, us stepping into our power, using our platforms, right? Even if it's from, like, a podcast episode like mine, or a simple photo shoot like yours. Like, I feel like we're just out here, like the cloak of a Harry Potter cloak of the Filipino flag is wrapped around us. Like, I see it, you know? Or like my friend Alex, half Filipino, he's probably watching. Him having those types of conversations, you know, about the mixed experience, right?
Yeah.
Those things. That's what attributes to Filipino excellence. Shout out to everybody who's doing all the gifts. We love it.
If you want to read some of the comments.
Yes.
It's on your phone.
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.
Thank you.
Let's read some comments. We're here for it. Oh, my God. We have a lot. We have a lot here. Okay, so let me scroll up. Oh, my gosh. It doesn't even end. I'm here for it.
Send questions. Now we could read your
I know. Please
here.
send questions, especially for Vanessa. This is historical for me that she is here. I love that she's here. Oh my gosh.
Thanks for you guys for joining in.
Yeah, right. I'm here for it. Sarah, she said, welcome, Evolve with Nicolette. We love it. Oh yes, thank you for the gifts. I love it. So much fun. Let me see. Oh, we got a lechon in here, baby. What's going on? Not you guys making me hungry this AM. Okay. Yes. Somebody said people spent hella money for, that's Goddess, my friend Goddess. People spent hella money to get these shows. So I think she's talking about BTS.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yes.
Oh, Carol asks a question.
Oh.
What's an upcoming project that I have and anything we should watch out for? Ooh.
A lot.
There's a lot.
Let's do that. Let's talk about
Okay.
that, because
Listen,
you were talking about being very, very modest. That's a very Filipino trait, right?
It is a very Filipino trait.
Very Filipino trait. I want this. This is a safe space for you to do the brag, girl.
Okay.
Do it.
So I have a lot. I mean, I do a lot of photo shoots. I also have like a couple campaigns for some big beauty brands coming out.
Oh, are we still under wraps?
We're still kind of. So I actually was ambassador for Ulta Beauty all of 2020.
She was. We had a Filipino model in the stores.
I was on like every single Ulta Beauty store.
Yes.
And I swear to you, I've never had that many FaceTime like calls in my life. I literally I was like, who is calling me? You know how we were like, oh, just text me, don't call. Everyone was like,
yes.
FaceTime. I'm here by your face, because you didn't even have to go walk in the store. You just walk in the outside, and
you're in the
like
window.
This big, like as big as this wall, like huge face, and I was like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me. That, you know what? And that helped me buy my house. Talk about mobility, because working with big brands, like I was able to still have do that, like give representation to my culture, still also be able to feed myself, my family, and buy a house.
Okay.
I was like, okay,
I'm here
maybe
for
I just
it.
drop everything and just do this full time. But I was like, I still love actually doing my career as well. So
I love that.
I do have, because of that opened a lot of doors to beauty brands, and I actually have campaigns with like clothing brands and beauty brands alike. But I do have something with Ulta coming up, so it'll come up soon.
Follow on Instagram. Follow on Instagram.
Because I post everything on Instagram, and it's not like I actually don't schedule anything. It's all fluid. Like I would be like, you know what? Today I feel like posting something. Today I feel like going live. Today I
love
feel
that.
Yeah, because I do makeup.
By the way,
I do fashion. I do like
everything,
lifestyle stuff, travel stuff, foodie stuff. So it's fluid.
Listen, and the PR unboxing that she does, I'm invested. I'm here for it. And let's talk about like the repost. Can we talk about that Beyonce?
Ivy Park
reposted.
Jenny and I had a photo shoot. So I'm kind of addicted to all the Ivy Park stuff, and I was like, one day Beyonce's gonna notice me. We're gonna do these photo shoots. So she had her rodeo, and I legit like just got the whole anything plus size. Like I'm just like, if it's stylish, I'll get it. Like because I'm tired of seeing like people like dressing plus size models in just like rags, frumpy clothes, like non-defining clothes.
Let's do better.
And so I was really appreciated that Beyonce had a plus size line. So I got some stuff. We went to a ranch, and I met someone like from a makeup job that I did, and she was like, if you want to borrow my ranch, you can.
What?
So we had this ranch all to ourselves, horse and everything. And Jenny was like, well, I'll take your photo. And I was like, let's do it. And we did it. The photos turned out so beautifully. Like Jenny has grown.
Listen. Girl, if you never seen a Pinay in a cowboy hat and cow prints, I was living for that photo shoot. Yes.
Ivy Park reposted it. It was like the best day of my life at that moment.
Yes.
I wanted to cry.
Yes.
Okay, when's my PR box coming, please?
Once my personalized, it's gonna happen. We're manifesting this for you, okay? Or being part of Riri's Fenty fashion show.
They reached out to me. I haven't like followed up, but they reached out to me, and not the fashion show, but just like
Fenty. This is made. That's what I'm saying.
Just, look out.
Stay posted.
I do work with a lot of brands, and it's really great to like be able to have the opportunity to like even have conversations with them. Yeah. Because I think they're picking up like, oh, okay, like especially if you're like on social media and you're like micro, like that is just a thing where micro influencers are actually like what brands are looking for these days because they're more engaging.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't have that big of a following, but you know, it's just.
Listen, she is so modest. No. Okay, we're getting there, and we're claiming it into existence because it's on its way. It's already done.
I feel like I know everybody on who's following it. It's like they're all my friends.
Yes, I'm here for it.
So be my friend too, you guys.
Yes, please. So let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody who's with us in convo.
Yes, thank you guys.
Oh my gosh. Somebody asked us what our love language was. I asked. I said I loved gifts. What's your love language?
Either quality time or acts of service.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, you know, quality time number one for me. I think I love giving gifts to people. Receiving gifts, like, it's always nice.
Yeah.
But I think like spend that time with me and that and like, you know, that acts of service stuff, which is great because I think so my boyfriend's also like Hawaiian Filipino, and so his like love language like is acts of service and quality time too, so it's like it works out in a way.
Yes. By the way, I love that. I was kind of hoping that I would meet that like him.
Yeah.
Because I love how you incorporate that into your content. You know, that's what I was telling them. Like, you guys need to follow her because everything is so intentional, so mindful, and so real. Like, I feel like when you guys are on vacation or go somewhere, I'm there with you guys.
Oh, yeah. You eat the same food we eat. we like,
how many yeses do you get from me on your inbox, like, on a day? I'm like, yes. I don't even say nothing else.
Emoji this.
I don't do nothing. If you're getting yeses from me in your inbox, baby, I rock with you firmly. Like, yes, I'm here for it. Listen, I wanted to just start to close with, like, what fuels all of this at the end of the day, right? What fuels with showing, right, like taking us on this journey with you? Yeah. Like, what fuels that?
That's such a good question.
Oh, yeah.
I think it, like, honestly, like, I want to take it back. Like, it feels really like me as a little girl and trying to live my dream. Because I was just thinking, like, when I was young, there was no, like, I was always the big girl. I was always that, like, the bigger, like, girl in the, like, and I lived in a majority Filipino community. Even though I grew up in Japan, I grew up in a military base in Japan where everyone was, like, 95%, like, they were Filipino. Right. On the same kind of, like, journey and, like, third culture type of situation because we were in the heart of Japan. But everyone was so petite and so small. And I was always kind of outcasted, but I still was, like, hung out with everyone else, right, you know, because it's such a small community. But I remember thinking, like, I never felt beautiful growing up. Like, I wasn't desired. I wasn't someone that people wanted to be with or whatever. Like, I was like, oh, like, you're fat brat or something, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just
the worst. So relatable.
Yeah. So all that struggle, all that insecurity when I was growing up, I wanted to change that narrative. Yes. It's not a victim story. It's like, you know, it's like
empowerment.
Yes, it's empowerment. And so any way I can do that to, like, uplift my younger self is that to the core what I wanted to do. Like, anytime I do photo shoots, anytime I work with brands or, like, have that representation in media, I'm thinking, like, what would my younger self want to see? Because I loved fashion magazines. I always bought J14s. I don't know if you guys remember J14s. I'm aging myself. But I would buy
Total
those.
Tita vibes right now.
And I would flip through and I would see, like, oh, there's an Asian woman, petite Asian woman. Like, but, you know, I'm glad there was an Asian woman to see.
Yeah, right.
And I'd be like, oh, that's, like, my future self. Or that's my sister, like, my ate type of situation. Or, like, you know, just even little things like that. Like, I just didn't see myself in anything. So I think I want to do it for the little girls who don't see themselves in other people, and, like, also my younger self is the core of why I do what I do.
Yes. I love that. I remember having asked, like, something like this question with you the last time, and I had mentioned that, like, I'm glad that we do what we do. I'm glad that you do what you do, because for the younger,
we cross so they could fly. Like, really, truly.
Please, because I see so many more, even with my own cousins, right? Because we've always been like on the thicker side, right? Even my Lola was on the thicker side, like, and how beautiful. I could see the expression like slowly breaking out of the shell, and I know that as we share on our platforms, like, we normalize this, right? Like, hopefully, that's why I was like, what a time to be alive, because I know that there's one little Pinay big girl who probably gets the brunt of all the jokes at the family parties or something, but then she gets to see us and be like, see you, baby.
Like, there's success somewhere. There's hope somewhere.
There's hope somewhere. You know, I love that, because back then it was even hard to just shop for ourselves.
There's no clothing brands.
No clothing.
Like,
nothing. So to be able to have representation and have pictures like yours exist in the universe, I just feel like the wave and the progression is so like
shifts the
chef's
mindset, because I was actually like, I had a very traditional Filipino children's party for my like 32nd birthday.
You did. Which belated happy birthday just happened. Yes.
Scorpios. It's not Scorpio season anymore, but I really wanted that, like, you know, I wanted my Filipino family friends and everyone to come, and my friend, one of my closest friends, grandma, she was there, and she's 94 years old. She comes to me, she said, "You're so beautiful." And I said, and she's like, "It doesn't even matter, like, you're big or anything like that. You're beautiful." And like, it's like, that's kind of, I know that seems like a backhanded compliment for most people, but it's
totally
not.
Get it.
It's a shift in like the direction. And I actually don't hear Titas, like, you know, like whispering things like, "Oh, she's so big" anymore. It's more of like, "Oh, like, okay, I see you," you know? It's like, so it's a shift. It's like there's like slowly a shift. Because again, she's 94, and she was like, she's not criticizing me about my weight or anything, and I was just like, that's a beautiful thing to see.
I love that.
Like, kind of older generations of like, this is what our mentality used to be, of like body shaming, and it's just like little by little, like, I don't hear aunties in my circle like criticizing me about my weight. They're like, "Oh, where can I get your clothes now? Where can I get your makeup? Or teach me how to do my eye makeup or something, or like, I want to buy your clothes," even though your clothes are probably, because I work with Eloquy closely, like, clothes are like 14 up, you know? It's like, "Oh, I want those clothes, but it's not in my size now." It's like, that's so reverse.
So reverse. Like, yes. I love that, because it's like a conversation starter.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. I still walk into family parties. It's been a while because of COVID, but I'm super excited to see everybody for Christmas. But I would like say out loud, like, "Your beautiful favorite niece is here," you know, like, so like that type of, like, I would just come in, because I felt like I had to already like shield myself, because the comments were there, especially when I was younger. It's always like a topic of conversation. So I love that that's like something that's being redefined for you, and like just that closeness, right, with like family and stuff. I love that. I love that. They should be so proud of you and all that you're doing.
I am honestly, like, I'm happy that they are, if they are. I think they are, because they do say it to me.
Yes.
So it is like a uplift, like something empowering too. It makes me like want to do more for the community. I was like, I just need to find more Filipino Americans, more Filipinos in my, like, you know, circle of friends, and like just community. And also, like, I do have friends of like diverse, like, you know, backgrounds, which is really great, because it's like you have that open-mindedness, and then also like ability to be able to, like, you know, because once you talk to someone of another ethnicity or whatever, they're more like open to like our culture. They're more open to our foods. And it's really great to like have that breaking bread together and ability to like just understand and love each other's culture.
Yes. Listen, Curvy Girl Gang is super strong out here.
It's super diverse. That's super diverse.
Super diverse. All different types of shades, colors, sizes. I am here for it. I'm here for it. So as we wrap up, for you, and like, what do you see for yourself? Actually, you know what? I want to end with this, because you just mentioned this. What would you tell young Vanessa now? What would you tell her, younger Vanessa now, as you've been doing the work, because even though like this, I feel like this is healing for you, all of this.
It really is.
So what would you tell young Vanessa?
I would tell young Vanessa that everything happens for a reason, and like everything happens at the right time.
Yes.
And like continue to work hard, continue to be ambitious and stay hungry, because like all of that work is going to come to something. Like you're going to meet all of your goals and your dreams that you want to do, because like you have the power to be able like own your power and just do it, and like do things that make you like, you know, scared sometimes, because it gives you growth.
Yes, let's get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Being uncomfortable, yes.
I love this. Listen, it was such a pleasure to have you here with me.
Thank you for having me.
We're not going to film the probably 5-minute hug I'm going to give her after this. But I want to shout out to everybody who's like on the live with us. My phone died already.
Oh, here.
But shout out to everybody who's here with us. I'm super excited.
Thank you guys for being here.
Listen, thank you for being here. Thank you for all the gifts. Shout out to Grey Diamond for joining. Casper, Aish, half Filipino. Shout out to Alex for being here.
Alex.
Everybody from my MMM gang, I love you guys. Carol and Goddess. Oh my gosh, Dave Mikey, hello. Thank you for all of the love here. This was such an experience for my first time. Shout out to Popping Cherries together. But I will see you guys next time, so stay tuned. We're gonna be doing stuff with One Dwn Media. All the good stuff is coming, baby, and always here on Kumu. So make sure you follow Evolve with Nicolette. I'm super excited to keep all the good stuff coming. I will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Bye.